face, use the drill bits that you drilled your holes with in the face of it for your buttons, and clean them out real good. And once you get that out, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of stuff in there from where you put all your finishes on it. And then you're going to take a little bit of glue. I usually just put a little bit on a scrap piece of wood or something. Take your little stick, toothpick, put just a little bit around the edges. It doesn't take very much at all, because these things, they usually fit pretty tight. Set your button in the hole like that, and then I take a piece of cloth and put it over it and just kind of tap it in there, and then go on to the next one. Okay, just like we did the button holes, we want to take the same drill bit that we drilled this hole with and make sure that that's cleaned out real good, and that your movement's going to slide in and out of it really easy. But you don't want it to get glued in there by any of the paint or the clear coat that you might have put on it, in case you may have to replace it. I've never had any trouble, knock on wood, with any of these movements, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Just make sure that it slides through there nice and easy. Put your washer on. If it comes with a big rubber washer, I usually toss them, I don't use them. And then take the size socket that's usually a 1/2 inch, and just snug it down, just finger tight. You don't want to over tighten this thing. And now you can either install the hands or wait till after you've installed this onto the slat assembly and then put your hands on it. But since I've already got them here, I'm going to show you how these go on. Usually I would wait until everything's completely put together. They'll come with a little film strip on them. You want to pull that off, and then your hour hand's going to go on first, and it just slides over top and down onto the second one. And just try not to push out here, because these will bend really easy. And then press that down, about a 1/64 of an inch up from the top of the nut. Then your minute hand is shaped so it's only going to fit on there a certain way. And then, as you can see, this is kind of long, so what I'm going to do is take a pair of snips. I'm going to mark this thing, and then I'm going to cut it off. You can see where it's sticking way over top of this button here, and I want it to come back a little bit, so I'm going to snip this thing off right about there. And then after I do that, I'm going to take this it's a little bitty cap that goes over the very top of it to tighten it down. If you happen to buy a second hand for it, the second hand will just push down into a little tiny wire that's sticking up through the very center of it. It's done, other than where I'm going to trim this off up here. Okay, all of our pieces They've got a real nice finish on them, and we're ready to put it together. Okay, if you notice down here on the edge of the wood, I actually went to the sander and I knocked that corner off and put just a little angle on that. It'll help it set into these slots a lot better. If you leave them on there, if you got a little glue in there or something, it'll actually make it stick out. So I always like to just knock some off. You're not going to see it anyway, so did that to the top and the bottom. And basically you just put your little glue in these slots. Now, depending on how you've decided to put this together, whether you wanted to drill holes in the slats and fasten them with screws or whatever, I put a little glue in there, and then here I'm going to try to stay off of the front of this because I don't want it oozing out that way. I'd rather have it come out the back side than in the front where you're going to be able to see it. And most people use a little acid brush when they're spreading their glue around. I always just take a little stick and do it. A little felt pad, because I'm going to probably have to tap this down a little bit. This is a pretty tight fit. Make sure I put it in the right way. You want to square it up. It seems to be squaring up by itself pretty much. So and I'm going to use my brad nailer, and I'm just going to put one little tack in each one of them. Check my square again, it looks real good. Tack these down. This is the part, this is the real exciting part of it, because this thing is like it's all finished and we're there. Everything's fitting nice. And probably about 10 minutes from now it'll be hanging on the wall, ticking away, and sit back and be able to admire your hard work. Alright, all of our holes are pre-drilled. So pretty much all we got left to do here is screw this on. Okay, the pendulum basically hangs, there's a little hoop there that this will hang on, and it's right about here. So they come extra long, so you want to break it off. This one, let me make sure I got that right. This is going to come to the bottom of the bob, pretty much. So if I break it off here, it's going to give me a length of about that much. So let's try that one. Just bend it back and forth, it snaps right off. Okay, on your bob, your this piece is going to slide down through the top of it, and then there's a little tab right here that it needs to come back over the top of. This one was, you know, when it was going in, it was kind of going down and trying to go underneath it. So what I had to do, I didn't want to try to bend this any in fear of damaging it. So what I did is I took a pair of pliers and I just put a little curve on this, so when I push this in, it'll get up above that, and then I can slide it on through until it snaps. And then, as you can see, it should come down and touch the very bottom of that right there. Then all you do is you take the hook part and it goes up underneath, and there's a little clip there that it hangs on. Peel our plastic off of it, and I'm going to take it upstairs and hang it on the wall.